Welcome to Thriver TV, where it is my absolute joy to help you heal for real from narcissistic abuse. Today, we're going to talk about why you are feeling so stuck in a narcissistic relationship. But before we get into that, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And if you like my material, give it a like and share it to people who you know this material can help. Okay, so I know, because I was there as well, that you are shocked that you feel so stuck in a narcissistic relationship because it doesn't make sense. Here is a person terrorizing and traumatizing your life, ripping it to bits, and everything inside you is screaming that it's bad and wrong, but yet you feel like you can't get out of the relationship. Today, I want to discuss with you the 6 reasons why this is happening. And at the end of the video, please make sure you hang around because I'm going to give you powerful ways to break free and no longer be stuck. Life-changing ways that you can get free from this. All right, let's have a look at number 1. Your self-esteem and your confidence is shattered. Narcissists control. They subjugate your autonomy. How they do this is by dismantling and taking away your support structures. So it's an outer thing that they attack as well as an inner thing, and we'll get to that. But what they do is the energy and the life force that you get from people and things which sustain you and empower you. So stuff like family, friends, hobbies, your personal missions, maybe your spiritual faith and connection. And they demean it, they diminish it, they degrade it, they pull you away from those things because they need to position themselves as the center of your universe. And the problem is they're not giving you any healthy autonomy, power, and growth. So that's not what you're getting from them. They're dismantling you. They're not looking at you as a flesh and soul human being who deserves to have your own feelings or your own opinions or even your own life or your life force. The narcissist does not want to see you be full and empowered and succeed in life. Rather, to them, you're a prop. You're a tool for the narcissist to harvest and exploit to get the most out of you that they can. So that means your attention, your focus, it could be sex, resources, money, property. It's definitely all aspects of narcissistic supply, whatever feeds their false self and gives them the significance to know that they exist through affecting other people so significantly. Please know this because it's really important to understand. If you have people and structures in your life that really do care about you, they want to see you grow in power and capacity and autonomy. They want you to shine. They don't reduce you in able to control you. Be very, very clear about that because narcissists are so confusing, but that's a way that you can tell. So with a narcissist, think of being a fly in a spider's web because that's what it's like being in a relationship with a narcissist. They're wrapping you up and tying you up so much that you can't see through the muck to even connect to what's outside of you. And then there's the Stockholm Syndrome, which means you're being abused, but you're trying to comply your way out of the tyranny. You're trying to please this person. You find that you have to agree with them and you have to do what they ask of you. Yet it's not helping. You just find yourself more and more tangled up deeper in the web. So on an inner level, this is destroying your self-respect and your self-worth. So the first step out of this feeling stuck because of your self-esteem diminished is recognizing what is really happening here. You trying to go along to get along is only getting you more stuck. You apologizing to the narcissist and trying to do better all the time to get clemency is only giving this person more permission to control and abuse you. All right, number 2, you're frightened that the narcissist is going to do terrible things if you try to leave. Narcissists are bullies, and they threaten you either directly or indirectly with repercussions if you try to stand up against them and if you try to take back your power and your life force. And of course, especially if you do leave. The narcissist may threaten to take the children, property, smash you in court, expose all sorts of information about you to others, rip your life apart, and make your attempt at a future without them a living hell, and so much more. Maybe the narcissist is telling you that if you try to leave, that they're going to replace you with somebody better than you. And this can, of course, play terribly into your fears of abandonment and being replaced. They could use guilt against you, smearing and turning your family and your community and even your church against you by playing the good person and saying that you're the problem. The list goes on and on and on and on, and I promise you, in our wonderful NARP community, we have seen it all. And we've helped so many people get through all of these repercussions of what narcissists are capable of. This is what I want you to know from my heart to yours. This is so key, so listen up, please. All that you are trying not to lose, you're going to lose it anyway if you stay. The narcissist is going to empty you out. They're going to try and turn the children against you. And then they're going to try and break you, where they will get the home when you are no longer in a position where you can fight back. And also too, the narcissist will take this to a conclusion where there is nothing left of you. So knowing that you staying there, things are not going to get better, is understanding that you are getting scorched, you are getting drowned. And to me, the most devastating of issues we face by staying and trying to hang on and mitigate the horror of what the narcissist does is losing our own souls. That's the biggest loss. Your soul should never, ever be for sale, regardless of the threat. Also, we have to think very deeply about what are we teaching our children? To accept abuse because of fear, or to stand up and be sovereign souls who choose our souls' truths and rights to be well and non-abused? Very important questions. Number 3, feeling like you can't make it in life alone or provide for your kids. Most of us before narcissistic abuse, without knowing it, had unhealed wounds from our past. It's the human experience. It's a part of the human condition, and it's known as codependency. And we've all had it, those of us who've been involved with narcissists. It means that there are parts of ourselves on the inside that have not yet grown up to be a solid source of love, approval, security, and survival for ourselves, which meant that we weren't able to feel whole, safe, empowered, and self-generative enough to make healthy choices for ourselves. And it caused us to hand our power away to outer authorities, hoping that they will be the parent, the savior, for our unhealed and underdeveloped inner child. I remember distinctly what it felt like to believe I couldn't survive on my own. And I also realised that for me to be able to go forward into life, no longer feeling panicked, dependent, and handing my rights over to abusers in some hope that they may look after me, that I had to heal, I had to turn within and grow these parts up and become an adult in my own body who could take care of myself. So many of us, we really had no choice. We had to face this fear head on and do the inner work on it. And I can tell you with everything that I have that if you do that and you come out the other side of this terrified feeling of being a child in an adult's body, to knowing that regardless of where you've landed, you can start choosing creating and growing your life from where it is right now, no matter how humble and broken it looks, you will start to experience the joy, power, and courage of being self-generative, of having a true soul source connection. And yeah, it is. It's a terrifying journey at first because we felt dependent and helpless and hopeless after narcissistic abuse. But this is the graduation, and it is so life-changing and necessary to have a successful life that works, to start growing ourselves up and healing to be an adult in our body, because that's where your true life can begin. And I can help you with that, which I'm going to be talking about soon. Number 4, attachment to stuff is a big hook that can keep us stuck. And I understand. I was once there. Because like so many of us, it's not even about being greedy. It's that we've worked so hard all of our life and overcome so many obstacles to get to a certain point in our life. And I know what it felt like to be attached to money and property and a lifestyle which I'd worked so hard for, and what I've been able to provide for my son, all of it. So please know, I'm not judging you at all if you're stuck in that place. But I do want to give you some perspective of what I've seen happen in this community all the time. The people who let go of stuff and their attachment to it and choose their soul, on the other side of this, end up creating and generating more joy and success than you could imagine. And as a result of choosing their soul and letting stuff go, they discovered true happiness and peace, which we only ever get through choosing our soul. And before that, all the stuff and things we thought gave us that, but it actually didn't. And when you choose your soul and you get the happiness and peace with your source soul connection, which is the thriver foundation of all of our healing, you're going to feel fabulous and really whole even before any new stuff shows up. But then it does. And you also lead the way for your children to teach them the greatest spiritual lesson of all that we get through narcissists, is that their soul is worth more than anything. And it should never be for sale, and we should never sell it out for stuff. And when we choose our soul, it's like Source God Creation says, you chose your soul regardless of the cost. Which means you chose me, you chose Source, because your soul and Source are one. And therefore now Source says, I can fully support you because you are being a true self. The people, like I once did too, who hang on for the mortgage, the house, the private schooling, the cars, the gadgets and the lifestyle, end up losing it all anyway and lose themselves as well as their health. Now, I'm not saying don't fight in court for what's yours, but what I'm saying is choose your soul first and then everything can follow. Because nothing is important without honouring your soul. On our deathbed, none of us are going to reflect on what we had during our lives. We're actually going to come face to face with who we were being. Who we were being. Who were we in life? Your contribution to life can't be optimal unless you choose your soul. And again, I'll say it to you, if you do that, Source and all of life will choose you too. Number 5, feeling sorry for the narcissist. Okay, I want you to open your mind to the possibility of deep, deep karmic ties. Stay with me on this. Relationships with narcissists are not ho-hum. They're not insignificant or kind of bland. They're pretty impactful. They really are nemesis type relationships that significantly affect us. And if you believe in karmic evolution as I do, then you may consider that your narcissistic relationship includes karmic unfinished business. And this is why, when you meet a significant narcissist that's going to be in your life, many people report a deep familiarity, an instant feeling of connection with the narcissist, or even an instant feeling of repulsion or anxiety. But then the narcissist charmed them into a connection. I would love you to check out my article, The Soul Contract with a Narcissist. There's a link with this video for that because it explains it deeper than I can do in this video. But what this all means is that you may have feelings of a deep obligation or requirement, or that somehow it's your soul mission to stay with and help this person. Heck, you may even feel like you're a parent to them and you have to fix them and it's your job, even though they're another adult. Yet, no matter how much you self-sacrifice or try with this person, your real life experiences matters are only getting worse. And it may drive you crazy thinking that you're stuck on not being able to turn your back on this person, and for some reason you're not allowed to save yourself. People can go through this decades later. The narcissist is married 2 or 3 new people and they still are at the narcissist beck and call and feel like they're soul connected. It's crazy. It's not only soul destroying, it absolutely allows the narcissist to keep exploiting and mining you for their own self-serving agenda without any recognition, care, gratitude, or compassion towards you. Maybe you have an elderly narcissistic parent and that's how it all goes down. The more you give, the more you're emptied out and the more you're abused. This is also a terrible dynamic for your children and their future generations to learn from your example. It's not what you say, it's what you do that they're going to follow. Just as you may have followed in the footsteps of your forebears who were also stuck in unhealthy martyrdom. This also enables abusers to keep abusing. It's not helping them to grow up and be responsible because there's no boundaries to it. It's important to accept this truth. It's a big reason a lot of people are stuck. Number 6. You keep forgiving unforgivable behaviour. To change your life from being narc abused to being free is going to take facing great inner fears as well as confronting the necessary healing within. And of course, rather than going through this transition, we may hope that the narcissist will change rather than having to change ourselves. I did a live on Facebook recently on why narcissists reoffend, and if you aren't following my Facebook page, I recommend going to it so you can join in with discussions like that there. Narcissists reoffend, and you forgiving them shouldn't be happening because they're not genuinely sorry. They don't think they do anything wrong, and they have no desire to stop being abusive to get their own agendas met. This is why you're not getting a genuine heartfelt sorry that feels true in your body, and you're not seeing genuine reform. Your relationship isn't up-leveling, it's descending down into a death spiral. It gets worse and worse. So hoping for reform from the narcissist and forgiving them, hoping this time it'll be different, is fruitless. And this is all a part of the spiritual test of narcissistic abuse. The understanding and acceptance of to change your life and take it back, no one is going to rescue you. The narcissist certainly isn't. To change your life is to change yourself, and it's your job. And what is wonderful is that we do have ways for you to do this. powerfully so you can get on track out of the abuse. So let's look at how. Let's have a look at the remedies to being stuck in narcissistic abuse. The very, very first step is to stop touching the stove that's burning you. Stop taking the poison that is destroying you. And this means letting go of the narcissist and going no contact or modified contact. And for more details about this, if you haven't yet, I really encourage you to sign up for my 16-day free course, because you're going to straight away get 2 free comprehensive ebooks that are going to explain this in much greater detail to you. And it's going to help you so much. And then from that point, it's about looking at the reprogramming of the fears and the terrors that have been keeping you stuck. There's 2 ways to do this. You can do it in a logical way, or you can do it in an empowered quantum way, which is what I'm such a fan of. Because the logical thinking way, it's really hard, it's arduous, it often fails. Because the traumas that have impacted you from the narcissist are now planted inside of you, and they mess with your mind. You can only think in the bandwidth of your emotional traumas. And you know that. It's so hard to think your way out of this. However, if you deactivate the traumas inside you, then you can start to think clearly in ways that work. You get the space and the emotional resonance to be able to do that. And today, that's what I want to share with you. Those of you who are working with NARP, I want to share some powerful, specific goal-setting module shifts that you can do to help being stuck, to get unstuck. And please know, I'm using in these goal-setting modules, I'm using the word source, but this can be any word that your higher power is to you. It's totally, totally optional and unconditional. All right, so let's have a look at the number 1 shift that can help you get out of losing your self-esteem and getting it back. So this is, and these will be in the blog, so you'll see them written down and you can write them down. And also too, if you need to reword them a little bit so they're powerful for you, please do. So number 1 is, I am connected to the source truth of myself as unlimited to generate my true life and true self. Feel it in your body. And what happens in the goal setting module, if you clear all of your trauma and blocks to that, so it becomes a 10 out of 10 and embodied in yourself, your self-esteem will soar and come back to true self where it needs to be. Number 2, as I stand with source in truth and power, only the light will prevail. I am safe to go free. So what that does is that reverses the fear of what the narcissist could do if you try to take your power back. As I stand with source and truth and power, only the light will prevail. I am safe to go free. It's powerful. Feel it in your body. Number 3, with source flowing through me as me, I am provided for in all ways, always. I am flourished and nourished eternally. This gives you the power to connect to opportunity, synchronicity, and miracle. It opens up all sorts of support in your life you can't even begin to imagine yet. So what this does, this is a remedy for, I can't make it in life on my own. Powerful. Number 4, I let go. By honoring my soul, I open up to all that is authentically sent by source to honor me. So what this means is when you've let go of the outer stuff and you connect to source, what honors you will be far better down the track than what you've let go of. I promise you, I see it happen all the time because it's connected with real and true self. And durably, it will be yours. Number 5, goal set module. I am responsible to my soul and source and serve all of life responsibly. I let go of those who are not my truth. I release all guilt and obligation now. So powerful to stop feeling guilty and obliged with narcissists and tied to them. Number 6, I grow with my soul's journey in accordance to direction from source. I see the truth, adapt and change my experience accordingly. I no longer play with or hold on to shadows. So freeing. So absolutely these can be affirmations, but when you're trying to work at the mind level, it's very hard to break through to the barrier of subconscious programming. In theta brainwave with quantum processes, you directly reprogram in here, and that's what NARP does. So for those of you NARPing, I hope that you find that really, really helpful. But what's really powerful when you say true self, true life, source, soul statements, you feel in your body how powerful they're going to be when you embody them. Can you already feel these statements in your body? Let me know in the comments. Can you imagine what your life could be when these are embodied truths for you? Do you know what a powerful, energetic creator you are from the inside of you? Because that's what the Thrive Away is all about. And this is why people in this community who take on this healing orientation enjoy unprecedented and fast changes that previously were psychologically, medically, and even legally unheard of. Okay, I hope today's episode has been helpful. Remember to share it with people who you know it can help. And until next time, keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving because there's nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.